There's a quiet truth about growing older that most of us aren't told when we're young. The strength in your legs holds the key to your freedom. You don't notice it at first. It creeps in softly. One morning, you sit on the edge of your bed, and it takes you a few extra seconds to stand. You feel a small shake in your knees. You reach for the handrail more often. It's not because you're lazy or out of shape. It's because your legs are trying to tell you something. They're losing strength, quietly, slowly, and the consequences are far more serious than you might think. In the United States, every 11 seconds, an older adult is hospitalized due to a fall caused by weakened legs. That's not just a number. It's a moment of fear, pain, and sometimes a permanent loss of independence. But here's the good news. Weak legs aren't an inevitable part of aging. They're the result of what we do or don't do each day. And even better, the solution doesn't require intense workouts or expensive therapy. Sometimes the answer is right in your own kitchen. In today's video, we'll reveal 4 simple, everyday foods that can help rebuild muscle, soothe stiff joints, and support your balance, all without changing your entire lifestyle. These aren't magic pills or trendy fads. They're real, natural foods that have helped real people take confident steps again. People like Olivia, a 73-year-old grandmother from Ohio who thought she'd need a walker for the rest of her life after a bathroom fall. But after 3 months of simple dietary changes, she now strolls through her neighborhood park each morning. Or Joseph, 84, from Florida, who struggled to stand up without his legs trembling, until food, not medicine, gave him his strength back. Your body isn't giving up. It's just waiting for the right support. Let's begin. Food 1. Chickpeas. Let's start with chickpeas. This modest little bean is one of the most powerful foods you can add to your weekly meals. Why chickpeas? Because they're packed with plant-based protein, something your body desperately needs as you age. After the age of 50, your muscles naturally begin to shrink, a condition known as sarcopenia. It happens slowly, quietly, and often without any warning, until one day, standing up from the couch feels like lifting a bag of bricks. That's not weakness of will, it's simply biology. And protein is the raw material your muscles need to hold on to strength and function. But chickpeas bring more to the table than just protein. They're also rich in magnesium, iron, and vitamin B6. 3 nutrients that work together to support muscle contractions, reduce cramping and stiffness, and keep your nervous system communicating smoothly with your muscles. Many seniors who feel wobbly on their feet or who experience strange leg sensations like heaviness or twitching are often low in these critical nutrients without even knowing it. One clinical study from Spain in 2019 followed older adults who included chickpeas in their meals 3 times a week. After 12 weeks, participants saw a 22% reduction in muscle loss compared to those who didn't. That might sound like just a number, but in real life, it can be the difference between needing assistance to walk across a room and moving freely on your own. I'll never forget Walter, a 74-year-old retired firefighter from Michigan. After slipping on a step in his garage, he started experiencing trembling in his legs whenever he tried to walk more than a few minutes. "It's like my knees forgot how to hold me up," he told me during our first visit. He wasn't interested in more medications. What he wanted was strength and confidence. We made one simple change: chickpeas. Walter began incorporating them into his meals 3 times a week. He added them to hearty vegetable stews, tossed them into salads with red onion and cucumber, and even roasted them with olive oil and paprika for a crunchy snack. Just 5 weeks later, he reported something incredible. "I can get out of my recliner without leaning on the armrest. I'm walking straighter. My legs feel like mine again." You don't need to eat a mountain of beans to see results. About half a cup of cooked chickpeas, roughly 125 grams, is enough per serving. Add that 2 or 3 times a week, and you're giving your body the support it needs to maintain muscle mass, energy, and balance. If you're using dried chickpeas, here's a helpful tip. Soak them overnight with a pinch of baking soda. This breaks down phytic acid, making them easier to digest and helping your body absorb iron more efficiently. A big bonus for seniors who might be dealing with low iron levels or digestive discomfort. Need ideas on how to enjoy them? Try making a bright Mediterranean salad with chickpeas, cherry tomatoes, parsley, and lemon. Simmer them in a golden turmeric broth with carrots and celery for a cozy soup that soothes the joints. Or toss them in the oven with rosemary and garlic for a savory, protein-rich snack you can keep on hand during the week. It's amazing what one small food can do. Chickpeas aren't flashy or expensive, but week by week they can help you rebuild your strength from the ground up, starting with the legs that carry you through each day. Food. 2. Pumpkin seeds. Let's shift from building strength to finding relief. For many older adults, the problem isn't just weakness, it's the cramps at night, the heaviness after a short walk, or that odd tingling in your legs while resting. These are your body's quiet signals asking for support. And pumpkin seeds may be just what your legs are looking for. These tiny green gems are far more than a seasonal treat or salad topping. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium, a mineral that plays a critical role in how your muscles contract, relax, and communicate with your nerves. As we age, magnesium levels tend to decline, especially if we're not consciously getting it from our food. And when that happens, symptoms begin to show up in subtle but frustrating ways, like restless legs at night, sudden muscle cramps, stiffness in the knees, or light sleep disturbed by muscle tension. But magnesium is only the beginning. Pumpkin seeds are also packed with zinc to help your joints repair and stay flexible, heart-healthy fats that reduce inflammation in the hips and knees, and powerful antioxidants that protect your muscles from everyday wear and tear. In fact, a 2020 study conducted in the United States followed adults over the age of 55 who consumed about 30 to 40 grams of pumpkin seeds daily for 6 weeks. The results were eye-opening. Participants experienced a 31% reduction in nighttime leg cramps and noticeable improvements in balance and lower body coordination. These weren't elite athletes. They were everyday people just trying to sleep better and move through their day with less discomfort. One of them could have been someone like Linda, a 68-year-old former librarian from Wisconsin. When she first came to me, her biggest complaint wasn't during the day. It was the way her calves would seize up like clockwork at 3 a.m., leaving her sore and exhausted by morning. She had tried stretching, warm baths, and even changing her mattress. Nothing made a lasting difference. So we made one gentle change. She started eating a small handful of unsalted roasted pumpkin seeds each afternoon around 4 p.m. It wasn't a drastic shift, just a quiet addition to her day. Within 3 weeks, the cramps began to ease. By week 6, she was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. And with deeper sleep came better mornings, more energy, better mood, and a renewed interest in her morning walks around the neighborhood. If you're wondering how to add pumpkin seeds to your own routine, it's easier than you think. Sprinkle them over a bowl of oatmeal or yogurt, toss them into steamed veggies or salads for some extra crunch, or enjoy them plain as a simple snack. A light toast in the oven with just a touch of sea salt or paprika can make them even more delicious. And here's a tip that makes a big difference. Try eating them between 3 and 5 p.m. This timing gives your body a few hours to absorb the magnesium and begin calming the nervous system before bedtime. It's proof that sometimes the most powerful changes aren't loud or complicated. They're small, crunchy, and right in your pantry. Food. 3. Seaweed. We've talked about strength and relief, but now let's talk about restoration. Because sometimes the issue isn't just weak muscles or nighttime cramps. It's the quiet creaking in your knees when you stand up, the popping sound in your hips when you take that first step in the morning, or the slow loss of flexibility that makes getting out of a car feel like a chore. These signs often point to something deeper. Your joints and bones may be asking for nourishment. And one of the most overlooked foods that offers that support? Seaweed. This ocean-grown vegetable, often found in miso soup, nori wraps, or sprinkled on salads, is a quiet powerhouse for joint and bone health. It's especially rich in plant-based calcium, organic iodine, and two unique anti-inflammatory compounds, fucoidan and laminarin. Together, they help your body rebuild bone tissue, reduce joint swelling, and support the production of synovial fluid, that smooth, cushioning liquid between your joints that keeps everything moving with ease. As we age, our ability to maintain bone density declines, especially for women after menopause. But here's some good news. A recent study published in 2021 found that women over 60 who included seaweed in their meals 2 to 3 times a week had up to 16% higher bone density than those who didn't. That's not a minor improvement. It's the kind of difference that can help prevent hip fractures, boost balance, and support long-term mobility. One of the most inspiring examples I've seen came from Diane, a 70-year-old retired yoga instructor from Oregon. Years of knee inflammation had forced her to stop teaching, and she missed it deeply. We looked at ways to support her joints from the inside out, and that's when we added seaweed into her weekly diet. She started with warm miso soup containing wakame, moved on to seaweed salads with a splash of rice vinegar, and even wrapped nori sheets around brown rice and vegetables for lunch. Within 2 months, Diane's knees felt looser. She wasn't pain-free, but she could kneel again. She began doing gentle stretches in the morning, then short yoga sessions in the evening. Her smile came back. Not because seaweed was a miracle, but because it gave her the foundation her body had been missing. If you're new to seaweed, don't worry. It's easier to enjoy than you might think. Try adding a handful of dried wakame to homemade soups, or sprinkle seaweed flakes over steamed vegetables or rice bowls. You can also use nori sheets to make easy wraps with avocado, quinoa, or grilled chicken. Here's a bonus tip. When making seaweed broth, add a few slices of fresh ginger and a drizzle of toasted sesame oil. Not only does this enhance flavor, but it helps your body absorb calcium more effectively, especially important if you've had trouble with bone loss or joint stiffness. So don't overlook this ocean vegetable. It may be light and delicate on your plate, but it carries deep healing power. For many older adults, seaweed has been the gentle push that helped them move again, freely, smoothly, and without fear. Food. 4. Avocado. Now let's talk about connection, specifically the connection between your brain and your legs. Because sometimes what feels like weakness in your muscles is actually a message from your nerves. If you've ever felt a strange numbness in your feet, a tingling in your toes, or an awkward delay between when you think stand up and when your body responds, it may be your nervous system calling for support. And one of the best ways to nourish that system? Avocados. Soft, creamy, and full of heart-healthy fats, avocados are more than just a trendy toast topping. They're packed with oleic acid, a type of monounsaturated fat that strengthens nerve cell membranes and improves communication between your brain, spinal cord, and limbs. That means every step you take can feel more grounded, more connected, and more stable. Avocados also bring two other powerhouse nutrients to the table: potassium, which helps with fluid balance and muscle contraction, and vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects delicate nerve endings from age-related damage. When combined, these nutrients don't just support your nerves, they help your entire lower body function more smoothly, reducing the risk of missteps, falls, and unsteady movements. A fascinating study published by the American Institute of Nutrition and Geriatrics showed that older adults over 65 who ate avocados 4 times a week saw significant improvements in balance, posture, and lower limb coordination within 6 weeks. Participants reported feeling more confident walking on uneven surfaces, climbing stairs, and getting out of chairs, everyday activities that had once felt risky or exhausting. Let me share the story of Frank, a 79-year-old retired school principal from Colorado. He came to me frustrated that he had started to lose feeling in his feet. It wasn't painful, it was more like walking on pillows. He described it as not knowing if the ground was still under me. This disconnect made him anxious about walking outdoors, especially with his grandson. Instead of pushing medication, we started with something simple: breakfast. We replaced his sugary cereal with a slice of whole-grain toast topped with mashed avocado, chia seeds, and a squeeze of lemon juice. He ate this nourishing meal 4 mornings a week. Within a month, Frank told me, I can feel the sidewalk again. The tingling had faded. His balance returned. He began taking long walks again, this time not alone, but hand in hand with his grandson. If you want to try it yourself, start small. Use 1/3 to half an avocado per serving. You can mash it and spread it on toast, toss it into a quinoa salad, blend it into a smoothie with banana and almond milk, or roll it into a wrap with leafy greens and grilled chicken. Want to boost the benefits even more? Sprinkle some chopped walnuts, flax seeds, or chia seeds on top. These omega-3 rich additions help reduce inflammation and further support nerve health. Avocados may be soft and subtle, but don't be fooled. They help reconnect you to your steps, literally. Because feeling your footing again isn't just about walking. It's about confidence, safety, and the joy of moving freely through your day. So, let's take a moment to reflect. We didn't talk about complex treatments or drastic lifestyle changes. Instead, we focused on 4 simple, everyday foods: chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, seaweed, and avocado. That's all. Just 4 small additions to your week. But when used consistently and mindfully, these foods can help reduce muscle loss, improve your balance, ease stiffness and cramping, and most importantly, support your independence. They may not seem like much at first glance. A spoonful of seeds, a bowl of soup, a piece of toast. But each one sends a quiet message to your body. You're not done yet. I'm still supporting you. Over time, that message becomes strength. It becomes steadiness. It becomes the freedom to walk across a room without fear, to get out of bed without hesitation, or to enjoy a peaceful stroll with someone you love. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that you don't have to wait until you're using a cane or feeling trapped by your body to make a change. The best time to start is now. Not out of fear, but out of care, out of belief that your body is still capable of healing, strengthening, and showing up for you every single day. If today's message spoke to you, please consider giving this video a like. Share it with someone you care about, especially if they've been feeling unsteady or tired lately. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss new tips, stories, and small steps that lead to stronger living. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried any of these foods? Which one are you most excited to add to your routine? Your journey might inspire someone else to take that first step. Until next time, stay steady, stay hopeful, and remember, the best steps are still ahead of you.